Just So hi guys, very good evening. We'll just wait for the others to join. As I see people are joining, and once they join, we will start off. We'll probably start exactly at 8:31. Just wanted to check. Hope my voice is clear to you all as normal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great. So basically today I'm going to just repeat what I did yesterday, plus I'm going to complete the SEO part so that if we know how Google algorithm functions, then it will be easier for us to actually discuss about content creation, and then we will go on to website creation. So next whole week I'm going to discuss about website creation and how you can, where you can get images, how you can make appealing images that will get lot of response on social media, and how to promote it, your content on social media and all. And then I'll be dedicatedly taking you through sessions on Facebook, LinkedIn and YouTube, and how to create your videos and how to optimize your videos and how to optimize your content. So that is basically what I'm going to cover in this free digital marketing training. And that is something which is a basic skill set for everybody today. So we'll wait for another 1 more minute, maybe 8:31 sharp we will start. I think it being a festival today, a lot of people might be relaxing, but still we have to continue. So guys, it's 8:31 and very good evening to one and all. And we are going to start off with today's session. Today's session will consist of a revision of yesterday, what we learned, plus the new things. And we are live on my admin page. If you have identified, the personality development interview tips.in website has an admin section here. So I've already logged into my admin section so that I can clarify or help you understand few things. So here you have an option to edit your post or do various other things. We are going to discuss all these things in detail in the next week. And next week, I'm going to invest a lot of time on how you can edit your website, how easy it is without knowing any coding if you have your website on WordPress. But before getting into all that, let's get the basics right. And in order to get the basics right, let's understand what are the factors on which Google runs its algorithm and ranks your website or web page content. So we discussed yesterday that there are 100 plus ranking factors, and in case if your content meets these 100 plus ranking factors, it will appear in the first page of Google search results. Now, when we are going down, the content has to be uniquely valuable. That means it should not be a copy content. Number two, it has to be a multi-device ready. To keep it in nutshell, multi-device ready means it has to be accessible on mobile phone, tab, or your laptop, desktop, whatever it is. And it should also ensure that it loads pretty fast on systems with low configuration also. So it can only happen. See, for example, your visitors might be using a mobile phone or a laptop with low RAM. That means it will take time to load. So your website has to be feather light so that it loads on their low RAM equipments as well. Okay. The next thing is it has to be crawler or boat accessible. Imagine you create a website and Google doesn't even recognize your website. And when Google doesn't even recognize your website, then there is every possibility that your website will not even display on the search results page. So what is a fun or point of having your website? The next most important thing is it has to be built to be shared through social media. So this I already explained. So whenever you have, ensure that you are giving them an option to connect with you on social media and leave the links in your signature. Whenever you're writing something, give them an option to connect with you like here. If anybody clicks on any of these things like Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, they will directly route it to my accounts and they can just simply join by subscribing to them. And the second important thing, always leave links at the end of the content where your posts can be shared on their social media postings. That means this content is enabled for social media of my visitors as well. Clear? So this is one thing. Now, the next important thing is the features on the page. Imagine if your website has a lot of multimedia content, then it will take a lot of time to load. Generally, always remember, let it be a mobile phone or a laptop or a desktop, the load time has to be preferably within 3 seconds. Only then people will be able to access your content faster and spend more time on it. Okay. Next, you have something called as domain age. Older the domain, the first preference will be given to your domain. So what happens, lot of digital marketers take up a website after the digital marketing session is over and they really don't do much about it because they have a fear that I don't know great English, I don't know great Hindi, I don't know great Telugu, and finally they give up. So what will happen, they will think, let me cancel the domain. Maybe after 2 years or 3 years down the lane, they feel, no, I have to develop my website. They again go for a new domain. So whenever you go for a new domain, that means its page ranking will be low. Its domain authority score will be less. Older domains will have a higher domain authority score. So when you have a higher domain authority score, Google will give more priority to your website. For example, in this case, my domain name is personalitydevelopmentinterviewtips.in. .in symbolizes that this is an Indian website. .com symbolizes that it is universal website. But .in is specifically designed for Indian. That .in will represent that it is created by an Indian or whatever it is. Okay. So next comes title length. Always ensure the title length is around 55 to 60 characters. If the title length is very short, people will not receive the right information. Say for example, I write mobile phones. Title length is very short. But if I write best selling smartphones or best selling mobile phones, it actually fulfills the purpose of writing a content or an article on it. If I write very big title like best selling smartphones in 2020 and there is a comparative study between Redmi, Realme, Vivo and Redmi Note, I put everything on the title, then the people will not read the complete title. Looking at the length of the title, people will feel distracted and they might probably not open your page also. That means you will catch the eyeballs of your audience.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Your voice is not coming.
Okay. How about the others? Are you all able to hear my voice? Can you please type yes in the chat box? It's just to clarify. Just in case if the internet is a little weak, then you face this problem.
Yeah. Now better, sir. Yeah, now better. Yeah, now
it's better, right?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, now better.
Great. So what happens is now always ensure that you have a content. Now the content length is minimum 1000 to 1900 words. Sometimes what happens, lot of online digital companies who launch new products and apps, they run contests. and if you write great content, then you will get a chance to win a lot of money, and or maybe any kind of gift articles. Maybe you get the app to use it for free for a lifetime, which otherwise might cost you every month $100 to use it. So you get some kind of a benefit when you write content, which you can use to promote your social media or your content on the social media. So it is very much useful that your content should at least have 2000 characters. That means whenever you are writing a review for an article for a particular app or anything, ensure that that content has minimum 2000 words. So this is for your understanding. When you go next, this is called as bounce rate. I've already explained you in Google Analytics. Bounce rate is the people coming to your, visiting your website and just hitting out of your website within 3 seconds. And when the bounce rate is less, that means your website is great. But the bounce rate is very high, that means you have to work on the content and the framework of your website. So here you have given the statistics. A bounce rate in the range of 26 to 40% is excellent. 41 to 55% is roughly average. 56 to 70% is higher than average. Anything over above 70% is disappointing. So now how do you actually reduce the bounce rate? Always ensure that if you log into Google Analytics, here you get to know about the bounce rate of the website. Just for new people who have just come in, who might have missed the session on Google Analytics or something, just I wanted to show them, because some people were complaining that they couldn't actually join some sessions. So it takes a little time. So whenever people are coming on my website, it will give me a clear picture. If I do a real time, if I go to real time overview, if any new visitors are logged in, okay, on the website, then automatically it will show the count here of my website. So right now I've logged in through an admin access. So that is why it's not showing. Otherwise it will give you a picture. And if I'm looking at normal audience, how many people have turned up to my website, I can identify from here, and it basically gives me a feel that there are close to 207 people who have visited only in the last couple of days. You know, probably if you go to the main home page, you get to know about the details with a hawk's eye view. So probably in the last 7 days, I have 200 visitors. So if I go back to like last 90 days, you can see that the bounce rate is pretty less because it's a comparative analysis. So roughly around 2.6 visitors and 37%. So it's less than 40%. And on an average, every person is spending around 2 minutes, 30 seconds here. So in most of my sessions, you will have some kind of repetitions of key concepts so that it will give you a repetitive feeling so that you can learn concepts in a better way. So now when you go to keyword density, it is nothing but if you are using one keyword again and again multiple times, it is termed as keyword spamming, and Google thinks just to rank high with respect for that particular keyword, you are stuffing this keyword without any relevance. When there is no relevance and you are using such keywords, then probably your website might be banned. So try using LSI keywords. So what do you mean by LSI keywords? LSI keywords is nothing but latent semantic index keywords, which are similar to the main keyword. For example, if I talk about gardening equipment, I write an article and review about gardening equipment, the latent semantic keywords could be something like garden, plants, trees. All these things are related keywords. So related keywords are called as LSI keywords. Using keywords again and again might lead to keyword stuffing, and this leads to black hat SEO technique. You have white hat SEO technique, which are acceptable ethical practices of content writing and website creation and development. But black hat technique is only to rank high on Google and get their traffic. They do everything. The moment Google identifies, their website will be banned and it will be dumped into the Google sandbox. Next comes image optimization. So you need to ensure that you have good images with good resolution so that people find it very interesting, and the images have to be relevant to the content that you are posting. And the next important thing is outbound links. When you talk about outbound links, this is nothing but this gives you a feel. There is a website. Say for example, this is my website, and you have something like Amazon, and I have a link for Amazon on my website. So anybody clicking on this link will be taken to Amazon. Like for example, if you see here you have given like best selling accessories in electronics, or maybe accessories category, or maybe headphones. If somebody wants to purchase, they can always use this link and go to Amazon and get it for the same price that Amazon sells. So just for the convenience of my people, I keep writing articles on digital related, and also I leave links like affiliate links where people can go and purchase it, where they will also get it at the same price. So it doesn't make much difference. However, if you are looking at it here, one second. Yeah, so this is called as an external link. Okay, so A to B, if you observe this diagram very clearly, A to B is an outbound link from A to B. So from my website to Amazon is an outbound link from my website to Amazon. Similarly, B to A received a backlink. So A is getting a backlink from B, and that is also called as external link from me. If Amazon gives a link to me, okay, that is an external link from Amazon. And now what am I more interested in? I need to get a link from Amazon, which is a do follow link. There are two types of link. One is do follow and no follow. If Amazon gives me a do follow link, that means since Amazon's ranking is very high, I will get some link juice from Amazon, and my site will increase its rating on Google's parameters, and it can rank high. If it is reflecting in the 4th or 5th page, it might probably come to 2nd or 3rd page. Why this thing happened? Because I'm getting a do follow link from a site which has higher domain authority and higher page value. So this is very important. See, getting just backlinks is not important. As per the new algorithm of Google, getting a backlink from a domain authority which is higher than your domain authority is important. Imagine if I give a backlink to somebody who is actually at a lower value than my website, then what will happen? My link juice will pass on to him. He will increase. My rating will get a little lower in the competition. So ideally, I want to get a link from a website whose domain authority is high. Imagine it's like a knowledge transfer from somebody who has great knowledge to somebody who has limited knowledge. So you don't want to take it the other way down. So you just want to look at people with high domain authority value, those websites, to give you a link. So in that way, your value will increase. So now you are clear about outbound link and external link. This is only to explain you this. And external links are also called as backlinks. So this is for your understanding. And next is internal link. See, in case if you go to my home page, let me just show you this. If I go to my home page and I click on, see, you see the tabs first. There is a home page, personality development, interview tips, blogs. Now, if I need to go to my home page and click here, like interview tips for freshers, or maybe, one second, or maybe I just click on this blogs. So it will take me to the blogs page directly. So the same blog page which is here, internally it is moving from home page to blog page. This is called as an internal link. And here if I go, this and I just actually take you through this session. This content is located here in the blog section. Basically, I write two types of content. One is motivational content and one is new things in digital. So under new things in digital, my today's session that I'm taking for you guys is called as SEO guide for freshers. So SEO guide for freshers is given here. So basically when you click here, this is what the content is all about. So here we are. So now you understand what is an internal link and what is an external link clearly. I hope that clarifies. So, so there is something called as canonical issue, which is very important. So whenever your website has two kinds of things, one is a HTTP and one is a HTTPS. Generally, whenever you take a website, it comes with HTTP. It doesn't have a security. It's for a trial domain. And later, you might need to secure HTTPS. S means security. Say, for example, you are selling some products, especially on e-commerce site. You will be collecting very sensitive information like customer credit card information, their banking information. They will do online payment and all. To protect your website and your customers, visitors data from their hackers, you need to ensure that your website has a HTTPS certified. If you look at personality development, if you click on here, that is a lock. The lock is on, which means this is a secured website. And when you click here, you see connection is secure and it has HTTPS. When you click here, it's a HTTPS. So this is where you discover that I am actually browsing a secured website, and if I share my data to this particular website owner, the data will be maintained with high confidentiality and integrity. So I hope you understood the difference. So if I have a HTTP website, if I have a HTTPS website, I need to ensure that both of them are pointing to HTTPS, which is the main website that I have. So that means I'm avoiding duplicate content on the social media platform, and everything is referring to the original one. It's similar to twins acting in movie, and most of the times people around them gets confused. Are you this person or are you his brother? So if you have some tag, you will clearly identify that yes, this is a person with whom I need to talk. So you need to identify the original and avoid the duplicate thing, because having too many duplicate things will also create problem when the Google's crawler will start crawling your website. Okay, I'll be discussing it where to use, when to use, when I take the live sessions, I mean the practical sessions, and how you can actually avoid it. Whichever is the original content, now you will put a mark. For example, you have a CD, an original CD and a duplicate CD. For the original CD, you put a mark, this is original, and you keep it safely. So similarly, here you will mention canonical as a tag in the coding part, in the link reference part. So basically, ideally, you will not do any coding at all. By default, everything will be there. You just need to change just that link relation is equal to canonical. Where you need to do, how you need to do, that I'll explain you by giving examples. So what can be done to resolve a canonical issue? Ensure that there is a redirect so that whenever people visiting your site and when it is temporarily out of service or something, it gives a 301 redirect that currently it is temporarily out of service or something. And similarly, you should always ensure that you use this tool in the Google Webmaster tool. So basically what happens, just like Google Analytics is there, you have something called as Google Search Console. Google Search Console is nothing but Google, basically it is called as Google Search Console is nothing but it is also called as Google Webmaster tool. And when you go to Google Webmaster tool, there you can actually check out various things. Basically that is a tool Google use to communicate with the webmasters, like people who own a domain, a website, as to what is good that is happening on the website, what is bad that is happening on the website. In case if there is any hacking that happened, so Google will send intimation to the owner who is registered with Google. So Google Search Console is like something where you need to check out regularly to understand if there are any errors that Google is throwing out, any improvement areas, any suggestions, any major errors, threats, everything will be informed to you in Google Webmaster tool. So there only you need to fix this problem by going to configuration setting and choose preferred domain as HTTPS. So this is a simple example for it. And when do you use a 301 redirect? So whenever there is a temporary issue with your site, probably you are login to the admin section and you are doing some kind of modifications, and probably you want to keep some kind of a direct 301 redirect. It will go directly automatically, and this will let the other person and search engines which are crawling the web know that currently this is not available, and they have given a direction already. So basically 301 redirection is a permanent redirection, and there is temporary as well as permanent. So 301 redirect is basically a permanent redirection. Say for example, I had this particular website hosted on GoDaddy. I see them increasing the price after 1 year. That is a trial period over. During trial period, they said it's free. Hosting is free. 1500 you get hosting plus your domain name. Your domain name that you selected is personality development interview tips. Your house has a name. Your house has a space. Now he says, I'm increasing the rent. You are using my space. I'm increasing the rent. I said, thank you so much. I will continue with the same domain ID because the age of the domain ID matters for me. However, the space thing I'm going to shift to another place. I moved it to Hostinger. When I moved it to Hostinger, there I'm getting for 2 years for the same rate. What I need to pay for 1 year in GoDaddy, I can get it for 2 years on Hostinger for the same price. So ideally, I found it more cheap when I did a comparative study. So this is something which I wanted to tell you. So at that point of time, I need to give a redirect. So GoDaddy will automatically give a redirect that this has been moved. It is not located in this space, and it will show it to Hostinger where my content is there. So content will be in Hostinger. Only the name is with GoDaddy. So whenever I need to renew it after 2 years, I'll renew extension for my personality development interview tips in GoDaddy. However, the hosting space, I'll be renewing it in Hostinger. This is just an information. So coming to alt tag. So alt tag, see, for example, you have this. I go to the dashboard, okay? I'll just show you this. I'll quickly go to the dashboard, and this is how it will look like, my dashboard. So here I go to a page, okay? I go to all pages. So I'll be able to access any of the pages here. As I told you, I can just go there. Probably I can take something like a home page. I say edit. And when I say edit, it's going to take me to this. And here I can actually edit the content. So this is how it looks like. So I can simply type anything and see if I need to give a link now. I'll just select some content, and basically here I have a link. I can either add a link or I can remove a link. So when I click a link, it will ask me what is a URL, like personalitydevelopmentinterviewtips.in. The moment I enter this, say for example, www.personalitydevelopmentinterviewtips.in, and I say enter, this will turn blue. And if I click on this blue link, it will take me to personality development interview tips. And this is what we call it as an anchor text, because it gives you you see the hand here. This text will take you to some place that is a desired destination. Now, if I need to remove the link, I can simply click here and say remove link, and it becomes normal. So this is how I insert link. The other day somebody asked me, sir, how do you link? So this is how I link content within this thing. So if I want to give it to a link to another page, so probably I'll give personality development interview tips / digital marketing or / blogs. So wherever I want to take it, the anchor text will take the cursor and will take my visitor to that particular location. Similarly, if I need to give an Amazon link, it goes to Amazon. Wherever I want to give it, I can give it. So you have a right. So when you go to the image thing, see, this is where you have a subscription thing. I'll just tell you when I do the session in detail. At this point of time, see, there is an image. So when I click here, it asks me to edit. So when I edit, probably it is asking me for an alt attribute. So image alt attribute, probably I can say that it is an image related to content. Okay, so when Google crawl and they say update, that means now I have given an alternative text, alt text, objective of my website. I have written a content, and this image is actually related to the objective of my website. So image title attribute also, I'll give it the same thing, objective of my website. So what did we say? A Google crawler can read text, but it cannot read image. But now this image can be read by Google crawler because I gave an alt attribute. And when I click update, this gets updated. So any image you select it, you can simply give an alt attribute like this. Whenever you select an image, it will ask you to edit. And when you click the edit, there you have something called as alternate text. And you need to ensure you give the alternate text. Here, if I give a link, when people click on the link, they'll be taken there. If I give an Amazon link, they'll go to Amazon. So I go to www.amazon.com. I copy that, I paste it here, and I link it to the object. When they click it, it will directly take them there. So this is how I actually add links on the writing. So you might be writing on PowerPoint presentation, you might be writing on WordPress or what you call this Word, MS Word, but this is a very powerful tool because this gets published on the online and it has links, and you can do internal linking as well as external linking. Similarly, when you need to insert an object, just for your information, I can just click something here, just I'm showing you for benefit. And if I say I want to insert something, I can go and check for an object. 1 second. Where is this object? Yeah, add to media. So when I go to media, I can see upload files. So whatever media library I go, whatever files I want to upload, I have all this. Guys, in another 10 minutes, it might get disconnected. So, but just stay there. I'll come back again because today's session, I need to complete the basic SEO. So guys, are you all there with me, right? Can someone just respond if you are there with me?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Am I going too fast? Are you able to understand me?
Little bit.
Okay. See, I just wanted to get back to that because I need to cover this. I just wanted to tell you how to add an image text. Okay. I'll also tell you about various things when we do it. See, do you think it is difficult? It is not at all difficult. It's pretty easy. And I'm sure if I need to view my website, I'll go here. I'll say visit site. And when I say visit site, I'll say leave because I don't want to make any changes here. So I'm just visiting my website. This is how it looks to my visitors. So whenever I go here and when I say dashboard, I'll go to my admin dashboard. And whenever I go to the dashboard and want to come back, I will click visit sites. And when I visit site, it will show me like how it shows to my visitors. So this is the view I can see that my visitors are also getting. So let's get back to this blogs, new things in digital. And in new things in digital, we go back to this SEO guide for freshers. Now you guys understand, right? Whenever you want to do a small business and you want to earn money, you can have your own website. You can be the admin for your website without depending on others because your website will be safe and you will know your own passwords and you will keep everything safe and easy to use because I don't use any coding here as you have seen. Just I wanted to show you how do you apply image text. Whichever image is there, you are just going to that and selecting it as image. That's as simple as it is. So you're using this alt tag for images to let the Google crawler identify that these images are related to the content and is something which is very important. Example, you have seen the image. If it's a clock image, you will mention picture of a clock. If it's related to my objective of my website, I have mentioned this image is related to the objective. Try and fail is better than not trying at all. So that is what is the objective of my website. So it's a motivational thing which helps people to prepare for their interviews. And that is the basic thing because of which I started this website. Now, when you talk about anchor text, I told you whenever a hand comes like this, this is an anchor text. So basically this is an Amazon affiliate link. I have used like shorten the link. I clicked on it and it became a short link. And this link, I use it on the object, the image or anything. And I promote this on the social media or anything. And when I promote it, when people click that link, Amazon will identify whose ID is this. Okay, this is Funny's ID. So in case somebody makes a purchase, I earn a commission out of it. Even if I'm sleeping, some customer visits my website can still earn revenue for me. And if you have a website, that is a benefit you will have. I would always advise you to have your self-hosted website. Don't rely or depend on someone because digital marketing is as simple as you can see right now. Only thing is that if you read a book, you will go crazy. You should have that practical exposure as to what's happening and how you can use things. Now, when you talk about backlinks, till here we completed yesterday. From here, I'm going to take you guys today. So when you talk about backlinks, okay, what do you mean by backlink? Basically, if you are placing a link on someone else's website that points back to your site, it is called as a backlink. And it is one of the most important factors for SEO. I'll show you an example here. I am actually there on Quora. I'm sure you all might be aware that Quora is a Q&A platform, question and answer platform. I think I have to log in. It's not auto logged in. I'll share it tomorrow. I'll share it. Okay, it's logged in. Great. So for example, if this is my Quora account, and if I go to my home page, see, there are a lot of questions people ask on digital marketing. So there are recommended questions for you. So when you answer these questions now, what will happen? I'll tell you what. 1 minute. So when you answer these questions, so whenever you answer these questions, now you always have an option where you can leave your website URL or link. Okay. So, okay, basically, okay, let me go to my home page. Let me see if it, okay, see, for example, I've written this answer. Okay, I'm just showing you guys for your understanding. See, Quora is a platform which is accessed by many people. And when you people are answering it, you will get the traffic on your website. People who are interested in content. So for example, you want to join, you can join a space. Space is nothing but I want to join digital marketing. So write about digital marketing here. And probably when you people are leaving a link here, say for example, if somebody is asking something, I will write everything and probably I will leave a link. Click here to know about this, or probably click here. Are you ready for a test drive? Or if you want to learn a little more in detail, click here. And when people click here, they are automatically directed to my personality development interview tips. So I'm creating backlinks on those websites where traffic is huge, free of cost. Don't you think this is amazing? Guys? So this is how you people can actually get free traffic for yourself and get quality traffic. Talk about those things on the forum, which is of great interest for you. If you are talking about electronics, join forums and communities which talk about electronics. So this is a small understanding about it and the power of this program. Okay, so let's get back. Let's get out of Quora. There is so much that you can do. Okay. Okay, now when you go down, what is a black hat SEO technique? So basically guys, a black hat SEO technique is something that Google does not want its webmasters to follow. They want all of us to be ethical. If I involve in link building or link buying activities, I'm buying a lot of links for black. So what will happen? Others will give me a link and I'll pay them money. And their domain authority is very high and they're giving me links. Now, what will happen? I'll get more and more traffic. And when I get more and more traffic, then I will automatically might increase my brand awareness in the market. Second thing, what is a white hat SEO technique? If you talk about white hat SEO technique, this will actually help you people to follow Google's practices. That means 100% you are following Google white hat SEO techniques and you people are ranking high on Google search results, and the chances of your website getting banned by Google by any reason is almost zero. That means you are an ethical person in the society of online platform. So that is the difference between white hat and black hat. Sometimes you get suggestions from Google Search Console. Probably you are stuffing too many keywords. Maybe you are resorting to black hat SEO techniques. So please be careful and correct your content. So it gives warnings and all. So you as a webmaster can correct it to ensure you again follow white hat SEO techniques, and then you will be safe. Clear? Yup. Now let's talk about what is cloaking. So for example, if you talk about cloaking, it is called as page cloaking. It is a practice of taking a web page and building it in a way so it displays different content to people and to search engines. See what happened, there are a lot of companies now, they will say, please join in our app, take this app, your content will rank on first. So for example, personality development interviewtips.in, my website is ranking 3rd or 4th. There is one competitor who is ranking higher than me. So these people, what do? They do a link clocking. When somebody click on the first link, instead of their page, my page will open. That is a black hat SEO technique, because users are intended to click some other website. You see this happening, you try to click something like some website, but some other website opens. Arey, I'm trying to click this website. Why is something else coming? That is called as page clocking. That means some other people who are following black hat SEO techniques in order to increase their profit, traffic, revenue, sales, they are clocking their competitor's page and ensuring instead of their competitor page, their page is displayed on top. Guys, we just have anything less than 1 minute. I might disconnect anytime and I will log in back. I request you all to log in within 3 minutes because we will complete this at the earliest. The remaining things will not take much time. Max in half an hour, we will complete this session. Okay. So